Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Mm.
How are
How are
you?
you doing? I am doing great. Thank you so much for asking. How are you doing?
I'm also good. Thank you.
Okay, how was your day going?
Day has just started. How was
Oh,
yours?
yeah, your day just started. Yeah. You're in London, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yes. My day is going pretty good. I just came back after a long break. I had Christmas and
Mm.
all that. So I was on a long break. Yeah, now I'm back.
uh,
Yes. So what do you want to do today? Anything specific that you want to do for today's session?
No, it's up to you. I don't
Okay.
have anything special.
Okay, so we'll go with the session notes then.
Okay.
Yeah, what is the topic for today?
It's about classroom memories, I think.
Yes, classroom memories, the teacher I'll never forget. So the
Mm.
first question that is posed here is, who's the teacher who you still remember and why?
Okay, so if I talk about this, I would say normally when we were in our childhood, our primary teachers were the most peoples to whom we can remember till today because uh, on those days we were really emotionally attached with them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in secondary school or during college time, we didn't have that much emotions with the teachers. So I would say most of my primary teachers from my standard. From my nursery to my standard seven, I remember all the teachers still, and yeah.
Okay, so you remember everyone, nobody in specific?
Yeah, I remember everybody. It's not about any specific one, but yeah, one or two teachers are there who I remember. I still remember. I still miss them. One of them is my English teacher. She taught us English in standard seven and eight. So I would
Mm-hmm.
say we had experience with many English teachers in our that duration of learning period. But she taught us in like basic grammar and everything. That's why I think I do have that at least knowledge of grammar just because of
Okay,
her. Yeah.
it's because of her. Understood. Okay. Now, if you look onto the session notes, images of different levels of school and college life are displayed. And you have to share a memory of each picture, happy or sad, about each of those phases of life. Now you have to share something related to that. You can see different pictures, right? If you can't relate to every picture, you can at least choose two and then talk about it.
Okay. So I think these pictures are all about how we are learning in the classroom with our friends and our peers, right?
Yes, it's
And
about the different stages of your life.
different stages of our life, yeah. So during our like kindergarten period, I can still have that vivid memory that I used to take food with me all the time because I love to
Mhm.
eat in the class when there is when teacher taught you during that time I like to pick the like I like to eat from my lunch box and my
Mhm.
teacher always looked at me and gave a big smile. She didn't tell me anything like why did you are eating. It was nice. Like I still have that vivid memory.
Okay.
And apart from that, if I talk about our school days, especially during exam time. So what happens, when I don't know how to say, but like during exam time, whenever I don't know anything or something, I asked my friend who sat behind me in other bench, and during that time, teacher caught us. And yeah, she asked us to stand up and come go out from the class. Yeah, so it was for
Okay.
5 or 10 minutes, and then she asked us to come back and continue with the writing
Okay.
answers. Yeah.
So some vivid memories that you remember, right?
Yes, yeah.
Exactly. Okay. Now, there are some idioms and phrases that we can look through. Can you just read the first one?
Um, The school of hard knocks is means life's taught lessons.
Life stuff lessons. Right.
Oh yeah.
Yes. The second one?
Class clown, classroom
Clown.
comedian, clown,
Yes. Clown.
clown.
Yes. The next one?
Read between the lines,
Mm-hmm.
find hidden meaning.
You would have heard about that idiom, right?
Hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. The last one?
Hit the book, study seriously.
Yes. Have you heard about that also?
Yeah, I know. Hit the books.
Okay.
Hmm.
Now, can you try to make sentences using these words? I mean, phrases. Take any
Mm,
two from these and try if you can make sentences.
so normally what happens during the class, during the learning period, kids don't learn throughout their study period, but when it's time to exam, they hit the book.
Okay, when
And
it
that doesn't
is.
work. Hmm.
Mm, okay. So, but when exam comes, they hit the books.
Hmm.
Okay, good. Now, next word, any other phrase or idiom that you would like to explain or make sentence
Mm.
with?
In my class, during my school days, I had one friend whose name was Anjuman. Her nature is like class clown. Like she always try to. She was like hilarious, so I can say she was class clown.
Okay, so you can make that into a better sentence. So, I had a friend
Hmm.
who was always a class clown. That itself gives the meaning that she or he was a classroom comedian.
Yeah. So I make simple things complicated, right? I think
Yes,
so.
that's the problem. So the thing is that the meaning is there in the word or in the phrase itself. But when you complicate it a lot, it becomes confusing for the listener.
Mm,
Right. So instead, when you have in depth meaning in the phrase itself, you just have to make it much more simpler.
mm.
Right. Yes. Okay. What about read between the lines?
I can read between the lines when it comes to find solution or anything. Uh,
Okay. Yes, that is a good sentence. Okay, so we have a small speaking activity where there are certain topics that would take us back to the school times. Let's discuss these to remember those, like a nostalgia. Okay,
mhm.
the first one is a favorite teacher memory. So you have to talk about a memorable moment with your favorite teacher. It needn't be just favorite teacher, but any moment with a teacher.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I can now remember that when I was in my fourth standard, my maths teacher, her name was Pushpa, and she used to teach us math subject, right? So she gave us exercise to do that from homes, and I did some sums.
Mm-hmm.
And then what happens? One of the sum there was I didn't get the answer. I tried a lot. I did all process, but I didn't get answer. Then I took help of guide. You know, we do have guide. So I took help from guide, and then I came to know that that is the question is wrong. The a figure has given the wrong in the question. The next day when I went to school, I asked teacher, I took help of guide to do the sum. She was disappointed with me. She didn't hear me like what happened, the question was wrong, nothing. She was really disappointed with me, like, why, Trupti, did you use guide? If you didn't know, you can ask me next day, why did you use guide? She didn't like anybody to use guide. She wanted everyone to do brainstorm for everything, and if you don't know
Mm-hmm.
anything, then come to your teacher and ask them. Then when she got like calm, then I explained her teacher, that's how it happens. So the question was wrong, that's why I didn't get answer. And then she was okay. So yeah.
But still, she was a little angry at you because you used the guide.
Hmm. Mm.
Was it
Yes.
only with you or with anybody? She doesn't like people using guide.
No, she doesn't like people use guide.
Okay, so that is one memory that you remember.
Mm. Yes.
Okay. What about a classroom challenge? Share a challenging experience in class and how a teacher helped you through it.
There is, it is related with the study. Okay.
Okay.
So what happens in our, what happened like in our class, most of my peers or students had private tuitions, right? So they'll in our school, what kind of environment like it? The teacher teach you some,
Taught you.
or yeah, teacher taught in our classroom, the environment was like teacher taught you everything, like some one or two some, and then rest she asked you to do from home. So what my peers or my classmates used to do that because they had private tuition, right? So
Mm-hmm.
they learned everything from there and they do by themselves. For me, I did have so many confusion because I didn't have any private tuition
Okay.
classes. So my teacher knew that she didn't have any private tuitions or anything who can
Mm-hmm.
help her at her home. So yeah, she used to provide me private time apart from class. And yeah, she helped me throughout. I had many teachers in my math subject also and my English subject also. Even I used to go to their home to
Oh,
do some sums and to learn something new. And yeah, that's how I learned my English and that's how I did my maths. Like
maths.
I am well in maths, so I just because of them.
Okay, okay. So that is one challenge that you took up. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. What about a school trip? Talk about a school trip and what you learned from a teacher during it.
Mm, okay. So once upon a time in when I was in my around the seventh standard, I would say, during that time we had school trip. It was one
Mhm.
day trip, and in that one day trip, only one bus and 50, around 52 students were there with four to five teachers with us. And during that time, learned from teachers during it. So during that time, our teachers because so many kids were there and they all are littles like in fifth, sixth, or seventh standard. So that's it was teachers' responsibility to look after and to take care of them. And because we were in seventh standard,
Mm-hmm.
so we have to look after our younger ones, like whoever was in fifth and sixth standard. So uh, but the one thing which I really like that the teacher gave us one or two kids like, okay, Trupti, these are your kids. You have to look after them. You have to take care of them. Like all the time, you have to be with them. So that's how they split responsibilities, and it that's how everybody had to live, like teachers as well. And yeah, so I would say that's one thing which I really liked and I learned from my teacher. That's how we can split the task and can do it a nicer way.
Okay, so what lesson did you learn at the end that to take care of other people or to become responsible? What was the main thing that you learned from it?
I learned from this that when somebody give you responsibility, so you have to be really focused on that. So I really did well job. I took care my kids, whoever was mine. And yeah, I learned that any adult or any if somebody give you responsibilities, so complete that task with your best. I learned that
Okay.
thing.
Okay, so you learned that thing. Great.
Hmm.
A classroom hero. Describe a moment when a teacher stood up for you or a classmate.
I moment teachers I I would say that about classroom heroes. So there are like many incidents happens on day day-to-day basis, like suppose mm, in our class, like we had like yoga. Normally, we do have yoga day on weekend, like on Saturday. We did have that kind of timetable, and in that, mostly myself and my friend, uh, they went on stage and they like guide to everybody like what yoga should do, and like there was how to say, like step by step after this this yoga or this exercise needed to be done, and that's how we guide to our friends, like our classmate or other school children's, and they copy us and they follow us, I would say. So during that time, my teacher many time my teacher many times stood for us, like she said, okay, yeah, you guys are doing really well, kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So that was one time where your teacher stood up for you.
Mhm.
Okay. A teacher's advice. Discuss a piece of advice a teacher gave you that you still remember. And you can also tell me in which situation did you get that advice.
So normally, what happened, I would say, like most of the time in my life, I got really good teachers who really helped me a lot during throughout my learning period, right? And time learning period or during school time, what mostly my classmates or school going children do, they they don't understand the meaning of the contest or any question. They just mug up everything, right?
Mm.
And that's how at the suppose today's exam, so the 1 or 2 days before they mug up everything. My closest friend used to do that, and she can do that really well. Next day she can put everything in the exam paper, and after that, okay, everything.
Oh, she mugs up everything.
Yeah, she can. Yeah, she can mug everything well. But for me, this is not the case. My teacher also advised me, Trupti, okay, whatever you are learning, learn little things, do little things, but do with understanding, with deep understanding. So you can understand it well and you can paraphrase and you can write the answer in your own way.
Okay.
So that's the advice I can say. I can still remember and I follow that. So whenever I come across anything which I need to learn, which I need to show, and or I have to teach to somebody, any in any situation, I never mug up. I never give advice to anyone to mug. Think if you don't know, just mug up and you will be fine. No, this is not the case. So I always go deep into. I dig deep into and I learn things first.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the different case. I take time to learn, but yeah, I do in that scenario.
You understand and learn rather than without understanding and mugging it up. You understand and learn, right?
Yes.
And that is an advice that you would give anybody.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. So before we wind up the session and before I give you a feedback, there's a small reading activity. Shall we go with that?
Okay.
Yes, you can read that.
Okay. A good teacher is not that hard to find, but you must know where to look. The good teachers are well prepared in advance for their education goals. They prepare their plan of action every day to ensure maximum productivity. Teachers have a lot of knowledge about everything, specifically in the subject they specialized in. A good teacher expands their knowledge and continue to provide good answers to the students. Similarly, a good teacher is like a friend that helps us in all our trouble. A good teacher creates that individual learning process which is unique and not mainstream. This makes the students learn the subject in a better manner. In other words, a good teacher ensures that students are learning efficiently and scoring good marks. Most importantly, a good teacher is one who does not focus on
Merely,
our merely
merely.
merely merely
Yes.
focus on our academic performance, but our overall development. Only then can a student truly grow. Thus, a good teacher will understand the student's problem and try to deal with them correctly. They make the student feel like they always someone to talk to if they can't do it at home or with their friends.
Yes. Did you understand that?
Mm-hmm,
Okay. So without much further ado, I shall give you a feedback.
mm-hmm,
Mm, in the beginning itself, I want to bring out a note that is your sentence structure. That is
mm-hmm.
something that you have to focus on. The way you construct sentence, it's getting complicated. Like I said before, it's getting complicated sometimes, and the order in which you're providing your sentences can also be made better. I'm not saying it's bad, but it can be made better.
Okay.
Now, when you're talking about your past, see, the whole class that we had today was about your memories. So it's obviously in the past tense, right?
Past, yeah.
You are not using past tense properly sometimes in some places. Okay. I think in the first question that I asked you, you told me that I can still have that memory. So that's not the correct sentence formation or sentence structure. It should be I still have that memory. I
Mm,
can is not needed there. I
okay.
can means something that you're going to do or something that you can do.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Okay, so here mostly your tense should have been in past tense. You are using it some places, but you're not using it in some places. Okay, but
Mm,
you're communicating well. Sometimes I feel you're a little bit tensed when you talk, when you're not getting the correct sentence. When I ask you certain, that's why I told you
yes.
take time and answer. It will take time because this class is like that. The topic itself is like that. It's about your classroom memory, something that you left years back. Right. So it would take some time. So it's okay for you to think and
Mm,
tell me. You don't have to get tensed about that. Okay. Sometimes clarity is not seen. Okay. So you can focus on your clarity a little bit when you speak. Because even if your sentence structure is not correct, if there are words which have clarity, the listener will understand it in a better way. I'm not saying
mm,
not to focus on sentence structure, but sometimes there are chances that you get mixed up with sentences, right?
yeah,
At that
understand.
time. Then, use of words like is a filler word for you,
Mhm. Yes.
and is also a filler word for you sometimes. And filler sounds is also there, right? So this is the feedback that I have for you. You are improving well, but in some cases I feel you need to work a little bit more,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
So thank you so much, Tripati. I think you have one more session with me today, right?
Yes.
Yes, in the afternoon.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll see you there.
Okay.
Take
Yeah.
care. Bye.
See you. Take care. Bye bye.